Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Camera Too Low, Lights Too Dim. I'll be working on that very soon, but for right now, it's what we got because there's stuff I really want to talk about. And today we're talking about a company that is looking really promising. I'm trying to convince myself to buy it. I haven't invested in it before, and I might be too late. And that company is Tesla. Tesla just released earnings, and if you weren't paying attention, they did pretty well. They posted a 1.86 earnings per share. That's like the third time they've ever been positive, and it's been a 2 quarter gap since they've been positive. So that's pretty big news. And on that news, they are up a little over 26% over the past week. So just to give a few solid stats on the raw data of Tesla, right now their price is $328.13. Over the past 5 quarters, these numbers are as close as I can remember as to what they were there. They may not be exactly correct, but they're correct enough to get these numbers here. So, Q3 of 2018, they posted earnings per share of $2.90, which was a huge deal. And Q4 of the same year, $1.80, a little bit down. And then they fell back into the negative earnings for the first and second quarter of this year. And now, Q3, we are at $1.86 per share, and that number is exact. So if we were to establish a price to earnings ratio of what Tesla would be at with some of these positive numbers, for their good quarter of 290, they would be at 113 price to earnings ratio, which would usually be considered high. Q4, they'd be at 182, which would definitely be considered high. And Q3 of this year, 176, still pretty high. Their total earnings per share for the past year is still negative $4.77. So they have a little bit of a stigma to overcome. Now, their forward PE ratio is 70. And I did the math for that, and that means that they are looking at a potential earnings per share of $4.66, which is more than double of this number and this number, and it's still pretty far off from this number. But is Tesla still a good deal? It's less of a good deal than it was before this 26% week price hike, and if you look at it over the past month, it's actually up like 30%, and I think for 3 months it's up like 40%. Pretty steep. And I just want to look at it and see if I've missed the boat, if it's still worth investing in, and how this is all going to play out in the future. Now, Tesla, I haven't read all of their earnings because I'm not quite at that stage yet. However, I do know they make their money from selling cars. And the issue with selling cars is eventually that business stagnates. I mean, look at Ford, look at GM. That business kind of stagnates. There's no real way for a car company at its peak to push more products out there. At some point, everybody owns a car. Everybody either owns their cars or a competitor's car, and that's that. Now, granted, Tesla is probably like they're at least a decade away from that, probably 2 decades. They're going to be growing at a crazy rate. They just opened the Gigafactory China, and they're planning another Gigafactory in Europe. So I don't think they're even close to peaking on their automobile industry. And the thing that I've actually been most excited about that other people haven't really seemed to, I think, understand the true implications of in the future is Tesla's solar business. And I believe in the last earnings, Elon Musk said something about like he believed the solar business would be long term the most profitable, the most profit push. He said, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said he counted on the solar business probably more than the car business in the future, which I believe is true because no matter what happens with cars, you can always push more solar products out there to businesses, individuals, people that don't have cars. So that business does have a lot more potential in the future, and it's one of those things where like the car business is big now, and I think over the next couple years it's going to be even bigger, but the solar business is going to be something that is small now, and we're just going to see each year it's just going to creep up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's just going to gradually improve that bottom line. But do I think I need to buy Tesla now that it's up 26% in a week? Well, will Tesla price go down? Honestly, I think yes, it will. In the short term, Tesla price will go down. It's just up right now because of the kind of aura around Tesla. When Tesla has good news, Tesla just goes up. It's becoming less like that because Tesla is solidifying itself into more of a stable state. But it's still iffy enough that on good news, Tesla just explodes kind of unreasonably. But I don't know how long it's going to go down, and it's definitely going to gradually go back up. I mean, just to be blunt, I think right now it's kind of a now or never. Over the next 6 months, it's kind of going to be a now or never. If Tesla price doesn't go down, we've probably missed the biggest amount of gains possible. There's people that haven't been investing in Tesla very long and are already up close to 50%. I think I've missed that. I'm not going to get that. But I believe in the company. Over 10, maybe 20 years, Tesla's going to make lots of money for people that hold that stock, and it's going to keep going up in value. The only thing I don't like about it is they don't pay dividends, but they're still a young company. They're still reinvesting their money pretty wisely. So, hey, the dividend is just paying itself out right here in the stock price. The only issue I see on that 70 price to earnings ratio forward, I think that might be a little ambitious. I don't think it's going to be 182, but 113 I think is like worst case scenario. It may actually hover around 80 to 90, maybe more, because this price may go up, and if this price goes up and earnings go up the same amount, that's going to just increase your price to earnings ratio. So I think the price to earnings ratio in the future may be more than 70, but again, I don't think that's so big of a deal. When you look at a company like Amazon, over the past several years, well, I say several, over the past few years, Amazon has had a relatively large price to earnings ratio. Because, I mean, let's say the price to earnings ratio is here, and the actual earnings are here, and it just goes up, 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 up. But what we've seen, like, it goes up even amounts, but what we've started to see is Amazon losing its massive growth potential. So the price to earnings ratio is starting to kind of adjust itself to the actual price of the stock, down to something more reasonable for a more stable stock. Like, right now the average is going to be like between 20 and 30 for a price to earnings ratio. Amazon's price to earnings ratio within a year is probably going to be down to 40 or lower. So that's what I'm worried about with Tesla. But again, I think that's a long-term worry. I think we're at least 10 years away, maybe 15 years away from when we're going to see Tesla EPS starting to really go lower. So I'm not too worried about the EPS right now. I think within the next 6 months, if I don't buy Tesla, I'm going to miss out. I've already missed out on the biggest jump, but again, like I said, I expect Tesla price to go down a little bit in the near future. 10%, maybe 10%, maybe a little more, but I'll be looking at it over the next 3 months, maybe trying to start a little bit of a position. Probably not a huge one, because like I said, I love dividend paying stocks, so most of the stocks I look at, I'm looking at increasing my average monthly income. But Tesla, I think, is just too good to pass up right now. Two other positions I hold that don't pay dividends are Elf, the beauty supply company, and Facebook. So this, I think, would be a good addition to my non-dividend earning companies, my growth companies, and I think Tesla will reward me pretty well. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think I should buy Tesla? Do you think I should wait? How long do you think it's going to be before the Tesla last week's big growth is going to kind of reduce, and that would be the peak time? When do y'all think that's going to happen? And until next time, y'all have an awesome day.